All right, we are live, folks. Welcome back. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Wow. Gonna be talking some Slammiversary fallout from this evening's episode of Impact the Wrestling. But before I do that, I just want to let you guys know, get all the plugs in. If you are new to the channel, there's plenty more of this where this came from. Give the channel a sub, smash that like button, and ring that bell for notifications to let you know when more of my content hits your screen. And I also want to just take a second. Jerry's in the chat. What's up? Good evening to you, sir. I just want to say a humble thank you. The review of the Slammiversary that I did from Sunday night, we got a bunch of new subs. I had a record number of live views during the show, post show. I just want to say thank you, and I want to keep the momentum going. You know, if you're digging the content, share it, smash that sub button, and we're trying to hit 500 by the end of summer, and I can't reiterate that enough. It's a goal of mine. It was for a while, it was 500 by the end of the year. Now I think we can hit it by the end of the summer. But I want to keep it going, and I'm psyched. I'm excited, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the new subs, viewers who share this stuff. The two families that I'm a part of, rantwithant.com and wrestlingwithwrestling.com. Please go check out their sites for more incredible wrestling content. All right. Wow. Whew. Had to drink about a gallon of water during that episode. Just coming off of seeing Scarlett Bordeaux. Oh my goodness. Did not know what we were going to get with that. I thought we were just going to get a debut, wrestling match. We got someone, I mean, you know, and I've seen a couple of her matches, but it wasn't anything that I was like, oh my God, she's the future of blah, 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 blah. No, I just, you know I saw her, but I didn't realize what we were going to be getting tonight, folks. We only did get a promo. We didn't get a wrestling match from the debuting Scarlett Bordeaux, but let me tell you something. That promo she cut, in my professional opinion, give me a second here. Lord have mercy. Jiminy Christmas. That promo was a 10. And I love Alicia, the interviewer, sweetheart. Oh my goodness. She probably went in the corner and cried after that one. Absolutely can't wait to see what we get next from Scarlett Bordeaux. Hot damn it, rubber biscuit. Oh my God. Shut up, 5. The 10 is talking. That was, keep preaching. that was priceless. That really was. That was, I think we got the sexiness and hotness. And I'm not saying that everything's got to be like, attitude era sexy and shock. No, but that's what's also great about this show. It's adding a little edge that's not, oh, she's coming out and she's peaches and cream and she's so sweet. And no, folks, no, we are getting an edgier show. It doesn't have to be all R-rated. Doesn't have to be, oh my God, we got a nipple slip and a half. No. But that was hot, folks. That was so hot. And that was something that, dare I say, we've been missing in professional wrestling. And I know she's got the talent to back it up. Impact Wrestling would not bring her in to just be TNA. No, she's not. I've heard people talk about her prior to Slammiversary, folks. We are going to get something. Some fans may have to, check their medication when she enters the ring. That's all I'm saying. We get We got the caretaker in the chat. Good evening to you, sir, from Wisconsin. Good stuff. Hot yet classy. Yes, exactly. There is a class. And I want to just follow up with that classiness. She mentioned Marilyn Monroe. Let me, and I'm dating myself a bit here, folks. When I was growing up, I loved me some Marilyn Monroe posters. I had Marilyn Monroe calendars. You want a classic hot movie? Go watch yourself some. Oh, damn. I've lost my mind thinking about Scarlett Bordeaux. Some Like It Hot, the classic Marilyn Monroe movie. Now, she may not be the biggest part of it, but woof, let me tell you, when you watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. So go check you out some classic Some Like It Hot. Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon. I almost forgot who else was the main stars in the movie. Tremendous comedy. And sexy. All right. Oh, where else do we go from here? We're just going to talk about Scarlett Bordeaux. Screw the rest. No, I'm kidding. I'd give myself a heart attack just doing that for half an hour or whatever. Let's talk about how we kicked out this Fallout edition of Impact Wrestling. The champ, the one and only Austin Aries, coming down to the ring. Agent is in the chat. Good evening. I heard about Monroe, and that girl really tried to go for that. She was sexy like her. Look at that. I can't get away from it. Everybody's talking about her. Light up the chat with some Scarlett Bordeaux, folks. Tell me how sexy you thought she was. Austin Aries comes down to the ring, and that promo he cut, and talking about an edginess to the show that has been missing. Not that it's been missing from Impact Wrestling. They've been building on this edginess and doing it very well the last, I'd say, between year to 2 years now. Bringing different content, and it's, not to slam another show, but that's what makes this brand different and special, and is bringing more eyes because they're tired of the cutesy PG corporate BS, which is also why it's time for this brand to get on another station, something with more eyes. God bless Pop TV and their Swedish dicks, who I'm competing with right now. Lord have mercy. Do not watch the Swedish dicks. Come to Smash This podcast and watch your J-Bo. It's my competition out there. I don't know how I'm going to do it. So Austin Aries cuts this scathing promo, daring anyone from any other show on any other network to come down. That is some balls right there, folks. It's tremendous. And while he's cutting this great promo, like Jerry said in the beginning there, in the chat, Eddie Edwards comes down to the ring and attacks him with the Singapore cane stick that was bestowed to him from Mr. Tommy Dreamer, as in a passing of the torch. I like this. I like this a lot. As much as I would have liked to see Sammy just erase everything that he's been doing, it wouldn't have surprised me if Sammy took his boys and went straight after the big ticket prize, like, Austin Aries Championship. Excuse me. Wow. Good stuff. Cheers. I think that was what I would have assumed. So, and I'm guessing a lot of other fans assumed that with me, that something as crazy and hot like that would have happened. We didn't. We got Eddie Edwards. I'm happy with that. And I didn't think we were going to get something like that right away. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Theodore Teddy Long to the chat. I don't like Eddie Edwards. Well, holla holla. I can't do it with a straight face, folks. I'm sorry. Holla holla. You might have some people against you on that one. Oh, man. And there we go with a holla holla holla. Just... Oh, give me a second. That's good. That's good. I think last week I had a John Cena in the chat. Tonight I've got Teddy Long. Oh, good stuff, folks. Thank you for joining. We're sipping a cold one, enjoying some Slammiversary Fallout. So the kendo stick comes into play here quite violently. Austin Aries is down, and I believe Eddie Edwards was holding that kendo stick in his mouth, frothing, smiling with that glazed look over his eyes. Let me know if you're excited for this feud, because I'm digging it. I'm digging it because not only is Eddie Edwards inspired now from his feud between Sammy and then Tommy, he's got the adrenaline now pumping through him to take on the biggest dog in the house, which is maybe not size-wise, but championship-wise, is Austin Aries, who took out pretty much the biggest dog in the company, if you want to talk about size, with Moose. Moose absent from tapings tonight. Very interesting. You know what? Ronnie's in the chat. Good evening to you, sir. It's just too much funny stuff going on in the chat. You guys make me happy. Cheers to you guys. Teddy, would appreciate a sub from you. I could really have a little bit of bragging rights then if I get a sub from Mr. Theodore Teddy Long. Holla holla. Oh, what's next? We got Petey Williams versus the Bone Soldier Ishimori. Great match. A lot of counters. A lot of great action coming out of this past Slammiversary, that these two were in the first match of the evening of the Fatal 4-Way. So they had a little time to, dust off the, their boo-boos from the evening. Ishimori wins with a modified DDT, and we get a too sweet and a bang. Very interesting there. Not afraid to use a little controversial stuff that's been told is a no-no for another company. I like it. I like it a lot. Not that we're going to see this like 24/7 from this, but I like it. And a sign of sportsmanship from the two, a handshake and a hug, only to be cut off by Desi Hit Squad. What? Desi Hit Squad attacks with damn it, I can't think of the guru behind the Desi Hit Squad, Gama Singh. I think that's what his name is. So prior to Slammiversary, the Desi Hit Squad making a statement for themselves by getting a win over Falaba and KM, now going after Petey Williams and Ishimori. Very interesting to see where this goes. Obviously, this Desi Hit Squad trying to make a name for themselves, and like, oh, you beat KM and Falaba. Some might look at that like, psh, that's really nothing to brag about. You take out a guy, a veteran like Petey Williams, and someone who is definitely an up and comer in the X division across a couple different companies, making a name for himself, Ishimori. Now that's something to brag about. So I have absolutely no doubt, and I might have missed it, but I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that we're going to see a tag team match. Wait for it. Wait for it. What's that? What's that, Theodore Teddy Long? Holla holla. Tag team match next week, maybe. We'll see. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have way too much fun with that, and I hope you're having fun with it too. And if you haven't yet, folks, smash that like button and smash that sub button. What's next here? Oh my goodness, we get an appearance from Anthony Corelli, aka formerly known as Santino Marella, talking about his young buck of a student, and I did not catch the name of him. I missed it. I did not write it down. And then Austin Aries comes up, pissed off from that kendo stick attack from Mr. Eddie Edwards, and he's like, "Oh, why don't you get in the ring with me?" And Corelli's saying, "Nope, sorry, can't do it." Santina. No, not Santina. Sandy. No drag, Ronnie. No drag. No drag. Gotta leave the smoke show to someone else now. Too fun. So it sounds like the student of Anthony Corelli is going to get I don't know if he's going to get a title match, but he is going to get a match with Austin Aries next week. And then, of course, we get the Swedish Dicks preview. By the way, if you are tuning in tonight, I just want to thank you again, because I know I've got big swinging Swedish dick competition out there. God bless Pop TV. Just saying. All right. Next, we get a match with Rebel versus Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard coming out with a win with that hammerlock DDT. Rebel, it's even though she came out with a loss, and we hadn't seen her for quite a while. We only saw her shortly prior to Slammiversary. She had a hell of a match with Tessa. She really did. I mean, she's using some power moves there. Yeah. Caretaker's excited for some Rebel. And and I gotta say, it's good to see her back as a part of the Knockouts division. I really didn't pay much Teddy Long in the chat says, I'm actually surprised Rebel is still around. Well, you know what? The cream rises to the top. Impact Wrestling would not bring back someone, in my opinion, that's just a throwaway talent. Okay? They're going to bring in the hottest talent in the ring, talent-wise, absolutely. And they're going to bring in someone that can add to that can help bonus their brand, pick up the brand. They are trying to get this brand back on pace to where it was back in the heyday. And I think this past show and here on, they're doing a tremendous job. I mean, there has been absolutely nothing but love on my timeline. And granted, I've started to follow a lot of, Impact lovers out there, but still, from everyone and anyone, giving love and respect. Hell, fellow Rambler, the Baron. Remember the Baron from Ramble About Wrestling? Was very critical of Impact Wrestling. And he was giving love to Impact Wrestling on Sunday night. That made me feel good because, he was one of those guys that just kept on, no matter what Impact Wrestling did, was poo-pooing it. It's just garbage. No, it's not, man. Now is the time to jump in and check out Impact Wrestling again. Seriously, if you have not seen Slammiversary, go order it. I paid the $40, folks. I don't buy a lot of pay-per-views. I knew I had to. If I'm going to sit on here and brag about how good Impact Wrestling is, it ain't worth much if I'm not going to spend my hard-earned money to go, just go get it, folks. Seriously. It's good stuff. You will not be disappointed. Show of the year, from what I'm hearing a lot of people saying. Agent in the chat says, bring back Roxy. Roxy, wow. Roxy, oh, that's a name we haven't seen for a while. I thought she retired. She was around within the last year sometime. They brought her in for, I can't remember what. Wasn't she also with WWE for a while? I forget. Ronnie says, I never understood all the hate for TNA, GFW, Impact Wrestling. It's an alternative and always has been a decent one. You know what? They've had a lot of ups and downs, and I haven't always been with them myself. There was periods of time when I thought they were just doing some goofy shit, and it was all ass backwards. But they are on the straight and narrow right now, folks. Seriously, they are doing some good stuff. All right, back to the show here. I talked about the Smoke Show, Scarlett Bordeaux. Hot damn. that was tremendous. Shut up, 5. 10 is talking. Oh, man. Impact Wrestling, if you watch this, if you don't put that on a t-shirt, I'm going to be seriously disappointed. Seriously. Shut up, 5. 10 is talking. That is money. That is money right there. Put that on a t-shirt. Smash that like button if you would put that on a t-shirt. Hell yeah. All right. We get a quick, short but sweet promo from Pentagon saying, talking about how he took his hair. And I love the special effects that they're doing with the Pentagon stuff. Crazy. And this coming Sunday, they've got a Twitch TV special with AML. I'm going to look into that more. I believe the headliner is Caleb Conley with the AML Championship. And I apologize, I can't remember who he's going up against. It's someone good. And they've got a lot of local guys going up against Impact Wrestling guys. So even if you're not familiar with a lot of the names, these shows that Impact Wrestling has been doing on their Twitch TV channel have been good, and it, number one, it gets the company around to different places, which is what they need to do and have been needed to do for so long. And it also is great to see talent that we've never seen before. Hot upcoming talent from other local communities, So it's something different, folks. I implore you, folks, go see it. My wife is coming back into town sometime Sunday night, so I don't know if I'm going to watch it live, but I am going to review it at some point. So if you don't catch it Sunday night with me, I'll be doing it sometime Monday or Tuesday during one of those other shows when you're not watching it anymore. All right. Next, we get the return of Johnny Impact to what he called is he didn't call it new, but what we might be able to call it the new Impact Zone. That was kind of cool, because they did this. I'm guessing they did at least 4 weeks worth of taping across 2 or 3 days, whatever it was. And they're also coming back, same location, in August, folks. It's so refreshing. I can't reiterate that enough. To be in front of a new crowd with some hot fans that are just, dying for wrestling, and not fans that are just complacent and have seen the show a million times and are sitting on their hands. Oh, Impact Wrestling, thank you for taking this someplace else. I mean, there's something to be said about the fans in Florida. They are special. But when you've got two guys that are absolutely killing themselves in the ring, busting their ass, and you got just a bunch of, a few hundred people in the back going, it's not cool. It's just not cool. Agent in the chat says Impact has become a breath of fresh air for wrestling and for me besides NXT. And Lucha Underground. Thanks, J-Bone, for that. Hey, you're welcome. Like I said, I'm always talking about stuff that I love, that I back on a regular basis. That's two things that you will get from me on this channel is Impact Wrestling and Lucha Underground. And hey, it's from two different websites, so that's great. It's like it's a one big family. WrestlingWithWrestling.com and RantWithAnt.com. What's next? Oh, we were talking about Johnny Impact versus Trevor Lee. Good match between the two. Johnny Impact gets a win with the Starship Pain. That cartwheel, I don't know they didn't give it a name. I'm just going to call it a cartwheel plancha off of the top rope to the outside. He did this in one of the recent weeks of Lucha Underground too, I think. Crazy. Absolutely nuts. Oh yeah, he did that not this week, but last week in Lucha Underground. And I was like, wow, we've never seen this before. I mean, it looks really, pardon my growing up in the 80s, radical. I mean, no one does that. No one does that. And it just makes Johnny Impact even more special. And then he says, he grabs the mic and he's got some unfinished business with Congo Kong challenging him. So we'll see if Congo Kong responds with well, actually, it'll probably be Jimmy Jacobs responding, because Congo Kong just sits in the background and goes, with a lot more hair, Oh, man. Allie promises to stop Su Yung, and she also has Kiera Hogan in her corner. Look out, Su Yung. You got some new competition for you. Well, not new competition, but we'll see how that goes, because Su Yung even took out a classic contender like Madison Rayne. And that was a good match. That was probably, in my opinion, the better of the two knockout matches of Slammiversary. If you have not watched that, folks, go check out that match. The ending was priceless. She puts Madison Rayne in the coffin, and then she gets on top of it, and then all of the Su Yung undead brides are like crawling up at the coffin, reaching up at her. A very cinematic moment. It was priceless. It was very cool. Very old school Undertaker-esque, if you will. That's one of the great things about Su Yung. It brings a little bit of old school without copying it. She puts a fresh spin on a classic thing. It's something that we don't see a lot. Okay, now next we get something that I don't talk about much on here. I'll give a little nod to it once in a while, but seeing as I did subscribe to the GWN network. You get a month free, by the way. because I canceled the other network. This match that they showed on here was actually really freaking cool, and it was cool for two reasons. Number one, like I said, the match was great. You got the young, no, not the, well, they are formerly known as Generation Me, the Young Bucks, and I forgot what they were called in TNA back then. Max and Jeremy Buck. I forgot about that totally. It's so funny. Against the Motor City Machine Guns. Now, they didn't say anything, but I have a feeling. Number one, it's a nod to the Young Bucks having a bunch of Impact roster folks involved in All In. Well, they're in the StarCast. I don't know how many of them are actually in the show. We don't know yet. It's a very slowly booked show. But you can get all the news here on All In whenever stuff happens. Twofold. Like I said, a nod to the Young Bucks. It's also a nod, in a sense, to Alex Shelley, who this week, this few days ago, somewhere within the last week, I didn't see exactly when, Alex Shelley retired from professional wrestling. I didn't hear exactly what injury it was, but nonetheless, I think it was a cool nod to him, even if it was unintentional, a sign of respect. So I just want to say from Smash This Podcast, thank you, Alex Shelley, for all you've done in your professional wrestling career. I know there's stuff out there that I'll probably never see of it because you've been all over the place. Between TNA, New Japan, all over the world, he was such a critical part of the Motor City Machine Guns being a defining tag team in TNA back in the day, pre-Impact Wrestling, and also the tag team work that I know that you've done with what's his name, Kushida, as part of the Time Splitters in New Japan, and also just a solid part of the X Division itself. So hats off and a cheers to you, Alex Shelley. I hope you enjoy your retirement and have a safe and healthy one, in fact. So here's to you. So very cool, and that match, holy crap. It's matches like that should draw people into the GWN network and want to watch that classic stuff. I mean, that is some hot stuff. That is the stuff that made TNA what it was back in the day. Teddy Long, holla holla, loved Alex Shelley. Yes, sir. Then we get a funny bit from Eli Drake giving a gift to Grado and the crew of Katarina and Joe Hendry. Good stuff. And he gives them just an adorable pic of the three of them. Well, not really, minus Grado. Grado is just really upset at this. Katarina's upset at this. Joe Hendry's upset at this. And Eli Drake. Yeah, dummy. That's right, caretaker. We love Eli Drake here. We want him to stay in Impact Wrestling, don't we? So he's working a little psychology on these three and trying to drive a little wedge in there. He obviously sees it. Grado, not so much. I think he's starting to see things the way Eli is seeing. But we'll see where this goes. I think it's time for Eli Drake to put him on the talk show. What do you think? I think so. The OGs, solid promo from them. Talking about the 7:30, and that they may have. How does he say it? Talking about the battle. They may have won the battle, but they have not won the war. And then they show off the They did confiscate, because that was one thing I was unsure of during Slammiversary. They took the championships, they tagged them. I didn't know if they kept them. They did keep them. They kept the Impact Tag Team Championships. Now, that doesn't mean that they are the champs, but you know how it goes. What do they say? Possession is 9/10 of the rule? Something like that. So this war, obviously, is going to continue between the OGs from 7:30. 7:30. It's not 7:30. What time is it? And LAX with Conan. So can't wait to see that battle continue. And I don't know, honestly, how they can top what they did at Slammiversary. Maybe oh shoot, what do they call that? It's the Impact Wrestling version of TLC. Someone fill in the blank for me. I'm having a senile moment, but I'll continue while I think of that. So OVE attacks a guy in the bathroom as he's taking a piss and shaves his head. Unbelievable. Hey, if I ever run into OVE, I guess I don't have to worry about that. Sorry, I mean, I don't. Shut up. I would not be just hiding in the stall. Rude. Some people. Full Metal Mayhem. Thank you, Agent. Much appreciated. Off-topic Caretaker says, did you see Abyss re-signed? Yes, that is a note that I wanted. Thank you for reminding me, Caretaker. Very cool side note there. Abyss has re-signed with Impact Wrestling. That came out just a few days ago. Now, the last we saw of Abyss was somewhere within the last few months. It was at one of the, I want to say Redemption, but I'm not sure if it was Redemption. I think it was prior to that. I apologize, I don't remember. But it was on one of their TV pay-per-views that they did. It wasn't at one of their bigger shows. It was like Monster versus Monster. Possibly a Monsters Ball, I don't remember. And I believe that was Abyss passing the torch to Congo Kong. From what I've heard, Abyss has been doing a lot of work backstage, production-wise, writing, helping the writers, helping the production crew put together the shows. Which, hey, he's done so much for the company physically. I would not. I'm just laughing at the Caretaker's comment there. He's done so much for the company from day one, before he was Abyss. I wouldn't blame him if he wanted to stay in the back and do a little more behind the scenes production wise. I wouldn't blame him one bit. The guy's put himself through so much. I had the pleasure of meeting him once. And it was within a week after he had that hellacious scar on his arm that had like umpteen stitches. I mean, it was like a scar from like here to here. And it was when he was given the Hall of Fame ring from Hogan. So he was showing that off on tour. Bruce Lee Wrestling brought him into town to face off against the monster of the Midwest, and I can't remember his name. Huge guy, at least 5 or 6 inches taller than me, because there was one time at a local show that he came in the bathroom and took a piss next to me, and I almost fainted. It was huge. I cannot think of the guy's name, and I feel absolutely horrible. I don't even know if he still wrestles locally. But it was a great moment meeting Abyss. Let's see. But thank you for bringing that up. Yes, nice note that Abyss is staying with the company and obviously helping out backstage more. That's not to say he's retired from the ring. We'll probably see him again, hopefully with James Mitchell, because that guy can still work. What's next here? Not too much. Oh, we got the main event. And not saying that the main event was not too much. I'm just saying that's last but not least. A very good X Division match, a rematch, if you will. Cage, the new X Division champ versus Seidel. Good match, and I was a little worried. I'm not going to lie. I was a little worried, but Cage came out on top, like I was hoping, and Seidel had a lot of great counters, but just wasn't 100%. He was still banged up from the match from Cage, and just didn't pull it off, you know. And I think he's gotta go back to the drawing board. That's not to say that Seidel is done in the X Division, but he just needs to refocus. And but I gotta say this about Seidel. As much as I love Cage, I have not given enough credit to Matt Seidel. He has really redefined himself and the X Division over the course of this last, I'd say, 6 months, if not longer. He's been a vital part. He's been a great champ, whether it have been a serious feud or something comical with Josh Matthews. So I just want to give credit where credit is due. And if Matt Seidel needs to go take a little time off to refocus his third eye or whatever he needs to do, if he keeps going and the injuries are not legit, hey, great, whatever. But he just looked like, he was selling a lot of stuff from Slammiversary. So we'll see what's next for him. But Cage is still your champ for the X Division. And, man, like I said, I can't be happier for Cage. This is the first of many big steps for him. I think, and I don't remember if it was someone from the chat from the last Impact Slammiversary video I did, or something that I saw on social media, so I apologize for that. But I think what we could see down the road is him cashing in his X Division championship for the what did Aries invent? What is that called? The Plan C or B or C or whatever it was. But nonetheless, cashing in the X Division championship for a chance at the Impact championship. So we'll have to see. Little prediction there. I'm guessing that could be some really good stuff down the road for Cage. Not that I want, I like the slow burn of this, that he's been undefeated. And they've been doing a good job of booking him like that he is a monster. But he's not just doing squash matches. He's kicking ass and taking names and having great matches. Isn't that Destination X? I don't know. Teddy Long says it's Plan C. Caretaker says, I want Killer Cross to come out and beat Cage at the top of the ramp. Yeah, you know what? I have no doubt that those two are going to face off sometime. They are a tag team down in AAA, or if anything, I think Cage might be part of that whole Mad crew down there. That's Conan's kind of like AAA NWO down there, sort of. Oh, and that is the end of that beer. So that is the end of this review, folks. Wow. Great Fallout episode from Slammiversary from this week's Impact Wrestling. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you did not catch this live, if you came in late, the replay will be on rantwithant.com. Go there for tons more great wrestling content, along with wrestlingwithwrestling.com. I can't leave those guys out. And folks, if you love the brand and hashtag be the brand, if you want to support the cause, down in the link below, I've got t-shirts for sale. So if you do happen to buy a shirt, please hit me up on social media. I am on the Twitter box. Take a picture. I'll share the hell out of it. It would make me feel so happy. You bought a shirt. And I don't promote that enough, but I don't want to sound like someone just out of his mind greedy, like, go buy a shirt. But I don't. But so this, it is what it is. By the way, go buy a shirt. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that sub button, smash that like button, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my content hits your screen. Good night, folks. Have a great rest of your Thursday evening. Much love.